Welcome to LifeSpider Quest with Answers. This is the place where no questions are too big or too small. The place where we encourage you to embrace your ego, find all of your life purposes, and inspire you to follow your vivid vision so you can live a life in passion, peace, and performance. My name is Frida Cabo. I'm excited to be here as the connection between your questions and the answers that comes up for Birgitta Granstrom. She is the founder of the LifeSpider System and the leader of the international LifeSpider movement. We're both originally from Sweden, but now Birgitta lives in California and I'm here in New Zealand, coming to you online so you can listen and ask questions from wherever you are in the world. Welcome again to LifeSpider Quest with Answers. Let the quest begin. Welcome, Birgitta. We're back for our 10th episode. And I'm really happy to be here. And I'm really excited for today because you promised me that I can ask whatever I want about you.
Yeah, I regret that. You never know. We will see. I will do my best. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. So, how are you today?
Okay, I'm pretty well. I'm pretty well, or great,
Yeah.
or fantastic as usual. Yeah.
Wonderful. And we have a lot of questions coming in. And as always, Birgitta doesn't know what questions we got. And I also put some in there.
Maybe I
So,
should this time. Maybe I should have done some censor. Yeah.
yeah, you're always, as we say to our clients as well, you're always open to say no if you don't want to ask a question, and that's totally fine.
I think we can do that. Okay.
I think you will do great as always. So let's start. How do you spend an ordinary day? What do you do? Even if I don't think there's an ordinary day for you.
Okay. Actually, there is kind of ordinary with some spice of the extraordinary every day. So to make fact, okay, I wake up really early, between 4:30, because I need my hour in the morning to put my intention, have my morning coffee. That's really important before all animals are wake up. And then it's feeding the animal around 6 o'clock, or depending on the sun. So I'm living mostly after the sun, not from the clock. Feeding animals, back doing my breakfast, doing my work. So in the morning, uh, I mostly have the most of my meetings in the morning. I have my spider clients, and I do this more production is between 8 and noon. And in the morning, and like this morning, I always take a walk down to the creek to pick some stuff for my ducks. And this morning, I met a little skunk. That's actually the first
Ooh.
time I've seen a skunk here, and it's so close. He didn't hear me, so I could watch him for several minutes. They are so cute. They are so cute. Uh, so, and I mean, there is lots of fun stuff with the animals all in the morning. Do my work. Then it's feeding time again for the animals. So that's really good. So I have a break in the middle of the day. And between, then most of the time I take a nap every day, and I have my thinking time, because between after lunch and to 2 o'clock, everybody's sleeping. The roosters are quiet, everything is quiet. All animals are sleeping. So that's a really relaxed reflection time. Mhm. And then, yeah, what I do, or what I feel forward, I do lots of thinking, the writing, then playing with the animals, feeding the animals, and then some more work. So I spend most of the days outside. And I many times yesterday I took my computer and I was sitting in the little duck area because I needed some to be in another spot.
Mm.
So I yeah, that's an ordinary day, and as long as my animals are happy, and yeah, then I'm happy. Mm.
Great. And for those who haven't listened or don't know you that well, yeah, you're living in California in a beautiful place. I had the privilege to visit last year, just surrounded by nature and on a mountaintop, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I think I have an. I mean, I live with the nature, so that's why I wake up with the sun. I go to bed early because when everything is quiet, so it's you kind of have another rhythm, and I hate to be disturbed in that. Uh, so it's yeah, so it's the nature and it's creativity and it's thinking, because thinking is one of the best thing I know to do, and there's a lot of that here.
Yeah,
And
and
I meet lots of people like this every day. I mean, so a little bit of everything.
yeah, and you live alone with your animals.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. That's the best company you ever can have. And it's always fun. It's always happen things with us.
yeah. And why do you have so many animals?
That's a good question. I have no idea because it was never in my plan. So actually, the animals have just shown up in my life, and so how can I explain? I know. I mean, I love animals, and they are, but they have actually coming coming into my life as my first horse. I never planned to have a horse, and the second one and the third one. So it just showing up, and then universe got me this place where I have lots of land. So there is just possibilities, and so it just. I mean, I animals are great. It's the best company you can have.
Yeah.
They are just funny all the time, funny and
So
friendly and inspirational creatures and yeah,
so what
it's
does the animals mean to you?
what they mean to me. They kind of, I mean, they are my kind of my family. That's yeah, it's for me all animals are souls. So I mean, I don't really, it's kind of they become more of a soul instead of a horse. So irony is irony, and I mean they have their personality, and it's just a interaction. So why do you have people around you? It's the same question. How do you answer? Why do you have people around you? Uh, it would be really hard for anyone, and that's the same for me. Why do you have animals around?
Hmm. Yeah, and you have human babies as well. How many kids do you have?
Oh, how many kids? I have two grown up. Oh, you mean really human kids?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have two wonderful sons back in Sweden, but they are old kind of now, so they are really grown up. They
Hmm.
are, yeah. So, so ordinary questions, yeah, wonderful, and yeah, we have
Yeah,
lots of
and
great interaction, and so the to be here and have all the internet stuff, so you can talk and have the relation with your family. That's I mean, that's important. That's really important.
mm, talking about kids, what were you like as a child?
Oh, I was I was pretty crazy. Even since I start to walk, I start to run away from home, and I was living in a little village, so I was visiting all neighbors, and so my mom always had to call around and looking for me. Do you have seen her? Do you have seen her? Do you have seen her? And then so I was all over the place, always. And even if I knew uh, I could have some, oh, don't do that, or be punished when I come back home. I always run away. So I always been in adventure, probably a mess in the school when I thought it started getting boring. So I was kind of rebellious and kept on running away to where I wanted to be. So this freedom has always been since yeah, and I was kind of messy, always crazy idea and this imagination and fantasy, and I started right before I even knew how to do it, uh, and I also, yeah, oh that was a good question. And I also was this wise person for everybody else. I always solved everybody else's problem. So if anyone had any kind of problem, and I couldn't understand why can't they see this, so I was kind of a little counselor
Yeah.
for all my friends since I was a little. I don't know, and I could see things that others couldn't see, and I thought everybody was the same, but realized no, they are not.
Yeah.
So I
Do
was
you
a
feel you had
pain for my teachers at school, and yeah, kind of one
yeah,
of
do
those
you feel that you
guys.
had one of those. Sorry. Do you feel that you had a lot of support growing up?
No, no.
No.
I would say I don't think I had any support.
Mm.
So I remember, I think I was kind of around 10. I mean, the second memories when I realized, okay, I need to take care of this for myself. Okay. And it was so nice when I found this. I could put myself in a bubble, in an invisible bubble, and there it was so quiet, it was so nice, and I could see people were nagging and talking, and in my little bubble it was great. So no, so then I make a decision, I better take care of this myself, for real. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's always I always been a person. I've always seen things that others can't see, and I've been seeing in the future. I predict what's going to happen, and so there is, it's kind of hard to get any support for your ideas because no one else can see or understand what you can see.
Yeah.
So then it's better to rely on your own support. And, but then
Yeah.
I have had, so I mean, I have had lots of friends all over the place, in all kind of categories. So I know a lot of people and great people, and I have lots of fun too. So
Yeah.
lots of fun.
So how do you learn new things?
By doing. It just take action, and then I'm practicing. Uh, Maybe that's not the whole truth. I think I start to study to learn. I take in all the information, so I read a lot if there is a new skill or something new, and then and when I say I do all the intake I can, and if that's 24/7, so I must read, I'm listening, and I even have the if I something I can listening to, I listen to it overnight. So I try to maximize the intake of information, and then I'm doing it. Then I do it, practicing.
Mm. Yeah. So you are the founder of LifeSpider System. What made you found the LifeSpider System?
Oh, that's it. It's a lifelong journey, and to go back, I mean, it was from my first question, and that's actually it's true. When I wonder why is people behaving like they do, I mean, I couldn't understand because I thought they were behave stupid. I mean, they say stupid things, they said things without meaning, and so I start to analyze it. I mean, maybe at 3 or 4 years old, and I made a decision. I need to figure this out. And I remember there was one incident, and it was nothing serious, but I just, and I think I was around 10 years, and I decided, okay, I will never ever do this when I am a grown up. That was a sacred promise to myself. And then I remember I would think, okay, if I'm not going to do this, I have to remember this. So I repeated the incident in my head all over the time. because I knew, because I don't never want to be like a grown up. That there was one thing for sure. So I started to observe the human behavior. I mean, in detail. And I think I was maybe closer to 30 when I realized, okay, I have kind of a concept, because for me it was just a personal interest to begin with. When I realized and I saw all the pieces come together, and I made this because by then I realized that all the information out there, and then I was thinking about the religion, philosophies, and all information um, about life. Everything was the same, uh, and my mission was, okay, what is the essence of everything that others have tried to teach people for hundreds of thousands of years. And then it was again just gather information, and everything unfold without my knowing. So I never knew what I was doing until afterwards, and I put it together to make the
So,
background.
yeah. So, do you feel you kept your promise to your 9-year old self?
Oh yes, I did. Oh, absolutely. So I actually, I have, I went back to my 10-year-old girl and said, "Okay, you made it. You did it." Just to make sure. Okay, so you can let go, because that was the kind of a responsibility that I had to let this 10-year-old girl get rid of, because
Mm,
kind of a burden as well to try to make people behave in a certain way. So
mm.
yeah, absolutely. Yes, I did.
So, I know that you also studied law. What made you choose that?
Oh, ac yeah. Why did I start this? Um, I think that was, yeah, I think actually the real reason why I did it. It was I was in some kind of when I was in my 20s or something. Then I made some kind of a test to see what kind of profession are you going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember from the beginning, I thought I wanted to be some kind of a nurse or a doctor or something, on a veterinarian, so in that area.
Mm,
And this counselor who did the test said, "Oh, I wouldn't recommend you to study." Uh, because I said, okay, maybe I should go to the university or something. And she said, "No, I wouldn't recommend you to do that." And I think that was triggering, oh, you.
yeah.
Okay, one of the most, the longest, the hardest class in the university, and okay, law was one of them. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I was interested in the law, because when I was 10 years old, we had this kind of, not really the law book, but it was kind of, so I was reading that when I was a kid, when I started 11 and 12 in my younger teenager. So I loved because my brain is analytic, so I love and hate judgment before you have all the facts in place. So that's why, so I love to study the law and to understand it, and I to put all pieces there, and then you make a decision instead of just judge like people do. So I love the my law studies, but I would never be a lawyer. Oh my God, there was poor lawyers. Terrible work. Terrible.
So, so you didn't finish that, if I understood it correct. You dropped
Actually,
out,
I
or
left when, sorry,
yeah. So, what made you stop?
I think I had one class, 1 4 week class left, and it was just before summer. And I asked myself, do I want to spend this summer by study, or do I want to have fun? And I choose the fun, and I never regret that. So
Yeah.
I had kind of put some proud into. I didn't want to do it, so no, I did not. And I knew already after 2 years in my as a law student that I would never become a lawyer. Oh my God, be stuck and try to figure it out the truth that somebody else's. I mean, no.
Mm.
So then I had enough. But I enjoy my studies. I did, and I still love to read, to do the analysis and read cases and follow trials and things. It's I think that's fascinating.
Mm. So, what made you come into the coaching way?
I I think I realized. Wait, it was in the beginning of probably the 90s when I started my first call center, and I had lots of employees uh, and I was yes. Okay, so this now I remember how it come because I received a book that I never ordered, and that book was from Laura Fortgang. Uh, no, I don't remember Laura Fortgang, and it was Take to the Top or something. And she's the one of the first ICF professional coaches. And when I read the book, it was like I got all the okay, this is exactly what I'm doing and what I'm doing with all my crew and everything I was doing. It was the coaching I had been doing my whole life. So I sent her an email and asked, okay, can I use your book and do the training? Because I mean, this is what I'm doing.
Mm.
So when she said, of course you can not, and then I got to the ICF instead, and I went to one CTI training in Toronto, and then I started my own coach training.
Mm.
Laura Berman Fortger. How could I forget? And just this fun thing when I went to one of the ICF coaching conferences, and I had one of Jay Perry, and he asked me to coach him, and he is one of the founder of the Coach U and the whole coaching industry. He was the partner with Thomas Leonard, and I just had coached him, and he was so happy. He was thrilled with my coaching, and I was new in the profession, so I was so proud. So I did really wanted to have a picture with me and him and proof. Okay, I've been coaching this big man, and I grabbed a lady in the corridor at the conference. Oh, please, can you take a picture? And she put her hand forward to me and said, "Oh, Laura Berman Fortgang." So there she was. I thought that was so much fun. So where it all started, and she took the picture with me and Jake Perry. So it was kind of fun.
Wow. Yeah. Cool. So, what made you do your own system then?
Because none of the system is good was good enough, and I had so many other answers that dive so much deeper. Uh, so it's can I say it's I have had some answers. I mean, I always knew why people behave in a certain way, but there was no system or theory or anything who had put it together. And I also could see that all the information or the teaching, the learnings, the wisdom is, but it was spread all over the place. And everyone has tried to kidnap it and put it into a religion or in New Age philosophy, or instead of just take the information and do something instead of put it in a box. So it's
Mm.
more. So I would say the whole LifeSpider system is a discovery. It's not that I have had an urge to find a system. So it's more a calling to put the information, the pieces together. Uh, yeah, so it will can be used for people. And I've seen the connection between certain things that others still don't see, not even in the coaching industry.
Mm.
So it's a kind of the way of how the human being will live in the future. So we are still just in the beginning, and it's
Yeah. Yeah, and we just had the ego evolution where we talked about the ego and our driving forces. And we have the question, what is one of your ego or driving forces what's the driving force that what was hardest for you to acknowledge or get forward
For just in the creation of the life spider,
for you
or
in your spider?
you want me just to mention one of them?
You can mention more if you want to.
No, I would say the one that's most active right now, it's the genius. And I think that's the one who loves to learn. I mean, he wants to put the information together and feel proud to see the new, well, to discover a new connection in between something. That's the genius. Love that and put. My driving force, my ego, the genius, I try to give it credit for what it has created, but at the same time, it's not good enough because now the genius want to do more because that's just, yeah, we know that already. We have done that, but that must be in driving force. And but I think I have another one that's actually it's been moving me forward all the time, and that's the one I still call be first. And that's because I want to be first and ask my kids, even the kids, they always were after me and I was always running. And I mean, I can't have a car in front of me because I need to be first. And so I need to, yeah, that's a really, and I could feel really bad if, uh, but I never let it happen. I do my best to never let it happen. So I have the feeling that I am first. And that's the pioneer, the innovator in me who have really benefits from this ego that wants to be first. And that's in sports. I love to win. So if I do play something, I want to win. I want to be the best. And yeah, so, and I think that one has been helpful
Yeah,
as well. Yeah.
definitely.
And there is one
Yeah.
more.
So time flies, and I would love to ask more questions. I have more questions, but time flies,
Oh,
and it's time to wrap it up for this time. So, one last question: what really excites you right now?
new insights, to be honest.
Hmm,
New insights or yeah, new discovery. That's
great.
yeah, yeah. I think
Thank you. Anything else you would like to add?
a, a lot. This is fun.
Yeah.
Reflection and yeah. No, I like the question. It's good with a reflection. With get receive some question from somebody else.
Hmm,
To
it is.
yeah, it's kind of fun. No,
Great. Thank you very much for letting us ask all the questions that we had time to ask. And it's really interesting to do these calls with you, Birgitta. And who's listening, thank you very much for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. So looking forward to the next one. Mm,
Me too.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much for joining us in this week's episode of Questions with Answers. I'm really happy that you're joining us, and it's so exciting to hear more about Birgitta's life and how she lives. Thank you very much, and bye.